Hello, I'm Farah Larieux, and welcome to Haiti Journal. Haiti Journal is a monthly public affairs program covering current issues facing the Haitian American community in the U.S. and abroad, produced in partnership between WPBT2 and the Haitian American Professionals Coalition. On July 28, 1915, 330 U.S. Marines landed at Port-au-Prince, the capital of Haiti, under the authority of U.S. President Woodrow Wilson. The occupation ended on August 1, 1934. While Haitians are commemorating a century-long anniversary of the U.S. occupation in Haiti, on this month's program, we are talking about the impact of the occupation on the country 100 years later. Joining me, we welcome David Kilroy, Associate Professor of History at Nova Southeastern University. David specialized in U.S. foreign relations. Gérard Metellus, the Regional Coordinator of the Florida chapter for the political party in Haiti named Organisation Peuple Caplité, OPL, in English, Organization of the People in Struggle. And Carole Demesme, Haitian award-winning singer. Beside being an iconic entertainer, Carole does research on the Haitian culture. Welcome to all to program.
Thank you for having.
Gerard, we'll start with you. Let's see the internal event happening before the 1915.
The internal events, actually, it's good to talk about them because that will let us to talk not so much about the commemoration of the occupation, but rather of the remembrance of the Haitian occupation. Well, the internal event is that on the days prior to the landing of the Marines, there was a turmoil in the country. The president, Guillaume Sam, had just been basically lynched by the masses because of a killing that took place in the prison the day before.
So he reported that he murdered 167 political
prisoners. And this is what gave the occasion of the occupation. But you know, I have a very different view on this occupation. The pretext is not the reason. It was only a pretext. The fact is the United States had wanted to occupy Haiti since the 19th century. And that was a result of a few policies. Number one is that what President Monroe called the America to Americans, what we call what's called the Monroe Doctrine. Later, you had what you call the Manifest Destiny, whereby the United States believed that it had to conquer from one coast to the other coast. And thirdly, the big stick, you know, after Teddy Roosevelt. And so basically there was a need for the United States to conquer Haiti. And there was a reason for that. You have to realize throughout the 19th century and at the beginning of the 20th century also, the United States did invade many countries. We're talking about Mexico, Nicaragua, Cuba, Dominican Republic, and Haiti. And that was because there was something that happened in this country. First of all, you had they had the need to control what was happening, to protect the canal, number one. The Panama Canal, and Haiti has the Mall Saint Nicolas, which still covers the Windward Channel. So with that, you could control everything that was happening. We could protect in the Caribbean.
And David, Gerard just mentioned about the U.S., kind of described the U.S. policy back in end of 19th century and 20th century. And can you give us a perspective from the U.S. government?
Well, I think Gerard is correct in the sense that in the late 19th century and early 20th century, the United States adopted a kind of hegemonic approach, not just to Haiti, but to the larger Caribbean and Central America. The context for the 1915 occupation lies in the competition the United States perceived coming from other powers in the area, particularly Germany. But you can go back as far as the presidency of Andrew Johnson and find an American Declaration of Intent in terms of occupying Haiti. The key turning point in many respects is the election of Teddy Roosevelt. And Roosevelt took the Monroe Doctrine and he really kind of rewrote it. He took what was essentially a kind of a passive policy to keep Europeans out of the Western Hemisphere and reworded it, what's famously known as the Roosevelt Corollary, and basically gave the United States carte blanche to intervene in any country, not just Haiti, but any country in the Caribbean and Central America, which the U.S. deemed weak or incapable of defending itself against a foreign power. So essentially what the United States did is it gave itself super sovereignty in the region, and Gerard's correct in pointing out that Haiti was not the only country that would see U.S. military. What's different about Haiti to a large extent is that it's the only real occupation that occurs during the Wilson administration. Most of the other occupations or most of the other military interventions occurred under Roosevelt or Taft. So World War I is also a context here. 1914, war breaks out in Europe. Germany, although the United States is not at war, the United States is siding with Britain to a large extent and sees Germany as a potential enemy.
And Kawal, one of the places, you are from Léogâne, and I have to mention that, as a matter of fact, you like to promote that. You are from Léogâne and a very proud Haitian coming from Léogâne. Léogâne is, for the viewers, in the southeast part of from Port-au-Prince, southwest from Port-au-Prince, and this is not too far from where the U.S. Marine land. And you know so much the story about what happened in Léogâne during that time.
Yeah, when the occupation started, there were a group of of the military that went to Port-au-Prince, but Saïra, which is where Léogâne is, really. There were a lot of them that came to Léogâne, but not just because it was Léogâne, that's because at the time, that's where Charlemagne Péralte used to be. So at the time,
Charlemagne Péralte is considered as a hero in Haiti, one of the leader of the military troops in Haiti.
And at the time.
At that time, yes.
Because he was the kind of leader that believes, in Dessalines, and at the same time doesn't believe that any white man should come back to Haiti as leaders, but as the way that the country was already set up with with a paper saying that anybody could leave, could come and work and live in the country, but not.
So
he
was a threat for the independence of this nation, of the black nation, and there was a lot of opposition.
A lot of opposition because there was a lot of young people, because the story that I'm giving you is not the one that you'll find in the book, because this is the people's story. Most of the thing it's like Port-au-Prince, but a lot of things that goes on in the suburb, you don't find them in the book. I got my information much like from my father, my grandmother, that keeps telling us what Haiti was all about, what the story was all about. And Charlemagne Péralte also, they talked about Benoît Batraville, that was very tight in the fight. But at the same time, there was my great-grandmother, cousin that used to be with Charlemagne Péralte. So my father as a kid knew Charlemagne Péralte and almost died also at the time.
So they were among those military groups who fought against the U.S. Marines.
And a lot of people died. And this is how he's going to leave Léogâne and he will go to the north side in Hinche to set up another group after Léogâne.
It is reported that there was about 40,000 Cacos, because at the time they were calling them Cacos, and they are a group that didn't emerge from the U.S. occupation. They were there before that. Mm-hmm. But we have this opposition from the countryside, but we have also an opposition from different authors, writers, and scholars, they're also fighting against the U.S. occupation, Gerard.
Yes, you see, you have to understand that what was happening in Haiti is that you had a country that was searching itself, a people that's searching itself. After the independence, there was the big question that was being asked, the land ownership. Who is going to own these lands left vacant by the French? And we had two questions. One of them is that they were saying, well, that belonged to the heirs would be the children of the French, meaning the mulattoes. And another one would say, no, it should go to the French of those who are of African descent. That was the question by Dessalines. But there's something more important in all these. When Dessalines said, for instance, you know what, this land should go also to those whose fathers are in Africa, was he talking about, whom was he talking about? The large masses or the generals? The black generals or the large masses, large black masses? And that was the question. Since right after that, you had a situation where...
And just for the viewers, when you say generals, the generals of the army,
the army that fought, the revolutionary army that fought the independence. So you had a situation where the elite of the country, made of the generals, mulattoes and blacks, who brought about the independence. So they wanted the land, they wanted to have large plantations, whereas the masses, they did not want to go on the plantation for the simple reason it reminded them too much of slavery. So they wanted lands also. So throughout the 19th century in Haiti, and until the beginning of the 20th century, so there was a fight, a constant struggle. What some people like to call disorder, turmoil, instability. Actually, it was a country, a nation searching for itself. So you had a situation at the end when there's one thing though, even though they were fighting amongst each other, but there's one constant. They never wanted foreigners on the land. And that's what took, and when you talk about the resistance of the intellectual and so on and so forth, this is what we're talking about.
And this fight become very spread to the country. Yeah. And he affected a lot the peasant.
Yeah, the peasant at the same time started what they call the society. It's like secret society. The secret society was not just the peasant. It was the way to survive. So they were trying to do exactly what they did in 1804, trying to go back again with the mulattoes. So there was a lot of mulattoes, a lot of people to organize themselves. The mulattoes went through those society called secret society in Haiti. And you will find those secret society in the spiritual part of Haiti, which they know that a lot of people still doesn't understand what voodoo was all about, and all of them will hide themselves behind the voodoo. So you'll find those secret society that will keep on going even after the American left the country. The secret society still exists until today. And it's like the army of the people. And what they represent
for the country?
That's the army of the people. Because just like Gerard said, when the mulatto that could read and write, they were the one doing all the negotiation for Haiti, but the peasant himself is still like the slave because they are up doing the agriculture, and none of them comes back and asks them what is going on for us.
So no one worry about the majority and those who are suffering and don't have nothing.
Nothing. With no school.
And when you mentioned the caco, this is exactly what we're talking about. The caco and the piquet, all right? So those are these peasants. Throughout the 19th century, who are saying, no, what the order that you want to put in the country is not what we want.
So, and David, while Haitians are still looking for the best way to develop their country and a way to also to get to progress And this is an opportunity for the United States and to come and then to establish their system.
Absolutely. And I think the United States, from the moment it moved in 1915, had a clear agenda. And the agenda was to remove, well, first of all, to control Haiti, but to remove any foreign threat. So I think one of the interesting things you see happen very quickly is in 1922, the United States essentially buys out the French debt in Haiti. So Haiti's independence, and part of the reason much of the political turmoil had existed in the first place, which invited American intervention, much of that turmoil was related to the fact that Haiti had essentially had to pay for its independence from France. 50% of its earnings would go on servicing that debt. And so its poverty and its political instability was related very much to this. So the United States basically bought out that debt, and from 1922 until Haiti paid it off in 1947, the United States essentially played the role that France had played up to that point.
At some point, the United States also get the Haiti financial resource from the treasurer, and then can you give us more details on that?
What the United States established was essentially a customs receivership and control over Haitian finances. Mm-hmm. It was the same structure which the U.S. had applied in other places like Liberia in West Africa, or similar programs in Dominican Republic, Nicaragua, and so on. And essentially put the United States in control of Haitian finances. The U.S. also essentially required Haiti to adopt a new constitution, and reorganized the gendarmerie, and essentially, I would argue, kind of remilitarized Haiti. I think one of the interesting consequences of the occupation is how, we were talking about the contrast between city and country in Haiti. Mm-hmm. I think the American occupation really brought Port-au-Prince more into focus as the center of power in Haiti, and placed a new emphasis on the military as the real power broker mm-hmm. in terms of Haitian politics. So, the occupation comes to an end in 1934, but the financial requirements don't come to an end until 1947, and I think you could argue that the role the military will play in Haitian politics down really to the 1990s is a long-term legacy of U.S. reorganization in the 1920s.
Listening you explaining all this, we're talking about the event that happened 100 years ago, but it seems like that's exactly what we see today in Haiti, where everything is focused in Port-au-Prince, where the countryside is not developed. When you see that still now Haiti is dependent on United States in terms of economic. Everything. The infrastructure that we have seen, and unfortunately some of them collapsed after the earthquake in 2010, was also legacy from the U.S. occupation 100 years after. How we can see today's how this occupation affect the living condition of Haitian.
It does, and I think if the United States really wants to do something about it, they are capable of doing it. It's just a matter of going back to all the institutions in Haiti. We need a Haitian society. We need a society where school is something very valuable in Haiti. We cannot go further if we don't have a good teacher, good teachers in the school.
We need to train the teachers.
Because to the Duvalier's regime, what happened, it's like all the mind of the country was sent out for much like 35 years. So we had no teachers. The teachers that left Haiti 35 years, when they're coming back as a retired person that cannot work anymore.
So we're losing our high educated. Skilled people, and they're going back to other countries. They're going to other countries, and
Africa, Canada, United States also.
Today's United States. And Gerard, how does impact economically Haiti?
Well, see, what happened is that when the United States landed in Haiti, there was the expectation that the economy would modernize. You would have a market economy, because before that, what we had, the agriculture, that was the key to the economy. You know, it was based upon there was no real investment in the economy. So it was expected that you would have the capitalist development in Haiti, but that did not happen.
It is reported that there was more investment in Dominican Republic in terms of manufacture and in Cuba, but not Haiti.
That's exactly the point.
Why that, David?
Well, I think...
Why more interest in Cuba and Dominican Republic and less investment in Haiti?
Yeah. Well, I think the issue, the United States had an intent during the occupation to open up Haiti to a similar kind of investment opportunities that would occur in Dominican Republic and
investment
Cuba,
opportunities for foreigners, for American
yes,
companies.
And I think this is one of the problems, and as Gerard's already talked out, you know, in part, the issues of land ownership, in particular in Haiti, are very different, and that relates back all the way back to what Gerard was talking about, the origins of the Republic. But I think the other thing too is that the United States wanted to, as part of the occupation, you know, transform the infrastructure of Haiti. So there was a lot of U.S. effort to rebuild roads and to build up the infrastructure to connect the country to Port-au-Prince and so on. Now there were problems with that too because, you know, the corvée system was introduced, forced labor and so on were characteristics of the American occupation. But I think part of the problem with American investment in Haiti has been that American investors haven't been able to find the same kind of political stability which they were able to find up until 1959 in Cuba or in periodic periods in Dominican Republic. And to a certain degree, that's a reflection of, on the one hand, the failure of the American occupation. The American occupation failed in the sense that it didn't provide the kind of American political structure, or at least American-guided political structure, that would entice American investors into Haiti. Although I do think under the Duvaliers there was an increase in American investment, and the Duvaliers were, you know, friends of the United States in terms of the Cold War politics, you know, anti-communism and so on. So, you know, I guess the point I'm trying to say about Cuba is the United States was happy enough to support whatever political regime existed in Cuba, regardless of human rights or other issues, as long as it provided the conditions in which American investors found receptive.
So at the end, can we say that it's all about the American interest? What about the Haitian interest? We have only less than 3 minutes left, so I will end the conversation with this question. What about Haitian interest?
Definitely. I think that's where the American became a failure as a country that presents itself all over the world as a stronger, but being strong also, I think humanity, the humanitarian part of the United States doesn't show concerning Haiti, because looking at Haiti today, I think it's a big failure. After the occupation, I think Haiti should be much better, and not only that, with all the Haitian that comes and gives themselves
in the United
States, we worked, we pay our taxes, we make the economy, we are a part of this, this world, this big game of America. That means the United States should consider Haiti because of all the Haitian in the United States working.
So our legacy, Haitian legacy in the United States too.
Well, I would say that the landing of the Marines represent like a death certificate for Haitian sovereignty and for the process that was developing in the country. So it's up to Haitians at this stage, at this point in our life, to ensure that we gain our sovereignty. And the sovereignty should not be only a political sovereignty. It should be based upon the policy decisions made regarding the economic development of our country as well.
David, the last question for you. Can we say in 21st century right now, can the United States have shape its policies regarding Haiti and have policies that will be in a better made for the Haitian people as well for the betterment of American, because we see that there's a lot of issue with immigration. Are they gonna still keep waiting for Haitian to flee Haiti and come to United States for a better life?
Sure. I think the United States absolutely can have a positive influence, but I think it obviously has to respect Haitian sovereignty, it has to respect Haitian interests, and it has to take its lead in terms of its relations with Haiti from the Haitian population here in the United States. I also think on the issue of immigration, I think that is one area where the United States must address immediately, particularly the contrast between Cuban and Haitian immigrants in terms of their status on arrival here in the United States is, a kind of prerequisite to addressing that issue is a prerequisite to improving relations with Haiti.
Thank you very much. There's a lot to say about the U.S. occupation, but I think that you bring a different perspective on it, and especially for this generation, for my generation, to understand what the U.S. occupation was and how it is important for us to develop this relationship between Haiti and the United States. Thank you all for watching us.
America to Americans, what we call what's called a mono doctrine. Later, you had what you call the manifest destiny, whereby the United States believed that it had to conquer from one coast to the other coast. And thirdly, the big stick, after Teddy Roosevelt. And so basically, there was a need for the United States to conquer Haiti, and there was a reason for that. You have to realize throughout the 19th century and at the beginning of the 20th century also, the United States did invade many countries. We're talking about Mexico, Nicaragua, Cuba.
Iconic entertainer, Carol does research on the Haitian culture. Welcome to all to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Gerard, we'll start with you. Let's see the internal event happening before the 1915.
The internal events, actually, it's good to talk about them because that will let us to talk not so much about the commemoration of the occupation, but rather of the remembrance of the Haitian occupation. Well, the internal event is that on the days prior to the landing of the Marines, there was a turmoil in the country. The president, Villebrun-Guillaume Sam, had just been
Hello, I'm Farah Larieux, and welcome to Haiti Journal. Haiti Journal is a monthly public affairs program covering current issues facing the Haitian American community in the U.S. and abroad, produced in partnership between WPBT2 and the Haitian American Professionals Coalition. On July 28, 1915, 330 U.S. Marines landed at Port-au-Prince, the capital of Haiti, under the authority of U.S. President Woodrow Wilson. The occupation ended on August 1, 1934. While Haitians are commemorating a century-long anniversary of the U.S. occupation in Haiti, on this month's program, we are talking about the impact of the occupation on the country 100 years later. Joining me, we welcome David Kilroy, Associate Professor of History at Nova Southeastern University. David specialized in U.S. foreign relations. Gérard Metellus, the Regional Coordinator of the Florida chapter for the political party in Haiti named Organisation Peuple Caplité, OPL, in English, Organization of the People in Struggle, and Carole Demesme, Haitian award-winning singer, beside being an icon,
basically
lynched
by the masses because of a killing that took place in the prison the day before.
So it reported that he murdered 167 political prisoners.
And this is what gave the occasion of the occupation. But I have a very different view on this occupation. The pretext is not the reason. It was only a pretext. The fact is the United States had wanted to occupy Haiti since the 19th century. And that was the result of a few policies. Number one is that what President Monroe called the